Well, stay with us. BON News continues with Straight from the Street up next.
You are watching BON. BON News.
BON News
From China.
BON News, bringing you the China you haven't seen yet.
Now, in the weeks leading up to the military parade earlier this week, 2 stabbings happened in the Tiananmen area of Beijing. 2 people died and others were injured, including a French tourist. On today's edition of Straight from the Street, we're asking people here in the capital what they think about safety in Beijing.
Things like this happen from time to time. The area I live in is pretty safe.
I was born here and have lived here all my life. Maybe it's because no one around me has been affected personally by anything like this. But I feel Beijing has always been a safe place.
I heard about the news, but I didn't look into it. I think crimes like that happen occasionally, but I feel confident about the safety here. Beijing is the safest city in China because a lot of money and people are used to ensure the security. In every aspect, it's safe, not just for us, but also for foreigners. People in Beijing are very kind-hearted.
I feel safe here in Beijing, especially recently. There are a lot of police and security guards patrolling.
Well, Tom, certainly most people there feeling that Beijing is a safe city. And certainly, just from a personal experience, I'd absolutely have to agree.
Yeah, it's very difficult to quantify and to compare how safe Beijing is compared to other capitals, particularly Western capitals, because there aren't a lot of statistics out. The Crime Bureau doesn't release a lot of facts and figures on how many crimes there are. But the general consensus does seem to be, and the general feeling is, that it is a relatively safe city, particularly for a population of 16 million people. There's security guards on most streets, outside residential compounds, outside major hotels and businesses, and I think that adds a level of security and certainly a sense of security when you're walking around the city.
That's right, and that security presence has, of course, swelled in the last few weeks, in the run-up to the parade and all this week. The fact that these stabbings made news just goes to show that it is a very rare incident too, and there were 2 within the space of 2 days, but pretty isolated in that sense, and making headlines in the way that it wouldn't necessarily in other Western cities.
That's right, and I think it emphasises again the level of security in the centre of Beijing. A lot of police and a lot of security guards, possibly less on the outskirts of Beijing, but certainly in the centre, very high levels of security and safety.